You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. The Indiana man who weaved through the roads of Greater Hazleton in a tractor-trailer cab Monday afternoon was no stranger to law enforcement. U.S. Marshals and state police say that 48-year-old Wade Meisberger's run-ins with the law date all the way back to the early 90s. He was reportedly a high school dropout who served a year in the Navy. His record began in July 1991, when 19-year-old Meisberger used a 2x4 to beat his childhood friend on railroad tracks. 20-year-old Michael Sawyer sliced his throat and fled the scene in Sawyer's Pontiac Fiero. Meisberger avoided capture for almost a year and was featured on America's Most Wanted. After the episode aired August of 1992, he was found in North Carolina and brought back to Indiana. Come May 1993, he's sentenced to serve 48 years in prison after being convicted on 1 count of murder and a Class D felony for car theft. A judge reduced his sentence in March of 1999 to 30 years, supervised probation for 18 years after release, followed by unsupervised until 2041. Fast forward to September 2007, he was released on good behavior and sentenced 18 years supervised probation. But come June of 2012, he violated that parole, vowing to never return to prison. He jumped off the Kentucky River's Carrollton-Prestonville Bridge, never to be seen again until that July. He posted a YouTube video claiming his failed suicide attempt forced him to go into hiding because probation officers allegedly had it out for him and wanted to keep him away from his son. But investigators believed he tried to fake his own death, and police picked him up July 17th. Meisberger was again released from prison April of 2015 and sentenced probation until 2027. He even came back to the prison in May of 2018 to tell his redemption story as a guest speaker, hoping to volunteer as support for those battling mental illness. Now, our timeline hits Monday, June 29, 2020, when Meisberger led authorities on a multi-county high-speed chase in Pennsylvania before engaging in an hours-long standoff behind the Beach Street hockey rink in Hazleton. After being given many chances to exit the cab and firing at law enforcement multiple times, Meisberger was eventually shot and killed sometime after 9 p.m. Meisberger's road to the city of Hazleton on his last day alive took a woven path, much like his final ride did. The Secretary of Health signed an order today making it a requirement to wear a mask when out in public. Governor Tom Wolf stated that the order is essential to stopping the recent increase in COVID-19 cases in Pennsylvania. Masks must be worn not only in businesses, but when people are out in public as well, where social distancing isn't possible. The recent PA hotspots are attributed to residents not wearing masks or practicing social distancing. The chairman of the Schuylkill County Board of Commissioners has stepped down as chair. An internal investigation revealed that George Halkovich violated the county's sexual harassment policy. He announced that he'll be stepping aside as chair, but will remain on the board. Baron Hetherington's been appointed the new chair. 4th of July is right around the corner. WYLN's Phil Kaufman has some tips on how you can celebrate safely.
As we enter the weekend of fireworks and barbecues, it's also important to be safe. We spoke with Fire Chief Leshko about safety tips and advice for this holiday weekend.
Everybody knows that the 4th of July that's coming up, there's a state law that does allow consumer fireworks to happen. Right now, we are very strongly as a department against that law. We feel the legal fireworks up.
Although House Bill 542 allows for more than sparklers and fountain fireworks to be purchased, Fire Chief Leshko is asking the people of Hazleton to consider the safety of the city.
Currently in the city of Hazleton, the way the houses are set up and the yards and roads, you would not get a 150 feet variance out of from away from a home to safely light off fireworks. That is why it's so important that we encourage all of our residents to not only go see a professional show, but just to stay away and do not purchase the consumer fireworks.
But remember, even without aerial fireworks, you still need to be safe.
If you're going to use sparklers, we ask you to do it practice safely, away from, to have the children, that they're supervised, that they have a bucket of water there when they're using them, and anything in that regards, we want you to please practice safety. We've seen people light them off in the middle of the streets. That's against the law. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to anywhere do that, and the police will be out in full force enforcing that.
The other fire hazard on the 4th to be aware of is everyone's favorite appliance, the grill.
With the barbecues for the 4th of July, we ask that, if you're going to be grilling, please use caution. We ask you to keep the grills away from your home, at least by a 15-feet margin away from your house. Properly always be, whenever you're grilling, always make sure you stay with your grill. Make sure that when you're done grilling for the day or evening that you shut, the grills shut off completely, the gas cylinders shut off. They are very hot surfaces and they can cause a burn or injury. And we ask that you please just follow common sense grill safety.
So stay safe this 4th of July, but also enjoy the celebration.
Again, we want everybody to be safe, everybody to be careful, and most importantly, everybody to enjoy this holiday. We want everybody here to enjoy not only this holiday, but for holidays to come, and just to continue to be careful and follow the rules, and also, most importantly, be safe.
Reporting from the Southside Station in Hazleton for Wyln News, I'm Philip Kaufman.
Thanks for the tips, Phil. The death of a West Hazleton man's currently under investigation. West Hazleton police, along with state police and the Luzerne County District Attorney's Office, responded to the rear of 500 Winters Avenue around 1 p.m. Saturday. There, they found 29-year-old Jonathan Hernandez unresponsive. The Luzerne County Deputy Coroner pronounced Hernandez dead at 1:45 p.m. Authorities say the investigation into the death is still ongoing. A Hazleton man sustained several stab wounds during an altercation Monday morning. Police were called to 326 Kiefer Avenue shortly after 4 a.m. for a report of a possible theft. They found a man on the porch bleeding from his left shoulder. He was uncooperative and refused medical treatment. Officers were called back about an hour later to find the same man with multiple stab wounds to his torso. He told police that his ex-girlfriend, 25-year-old Dorothy Dotel Paredes, had stabbed him during an argument. She was later located on West Maple Street, taken into custody, and charged with aggravated assault, simple assault, and reckless endangerment. The victim was taken to the hospital for serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The nation's leading infectious disease experts issuing a warning after nearly 28 states are seeing a rise in COVID-19 cases. Dr. Anthony Fauci stated at a Senate hearing that coronavirus cases could increase to 100,000 a day if people don't follow public health guidelines. States like Florida, California, and Texas are seeing an increase in cases. Part of the reason is people socializing in crowds, often without masks and ignoring safety guidelines. As of Tuesday, over 600 new cases were reported in Pennsylvania, bringing the total number to 87,242. 2 Shenandoah police officers sustained minor injuries during a disturbance in the borough Tuesday morning. Police encountered 50-year-old Randy Gelbatis in the 100 block of West Washington Street around 10:15 Tuesday morning. He was carrying a large table lamp and screaming at the officers. He was ordered to put the lamp down and did so, but proceeded to yell again, grabbed the lamp, and charged at the officers. Backup had to be called in, while Gelbatis continued to fight by kicking and biting them. The officers received minor injuries, and Gelbatis was charged with aggravated and simple assault, resisting arrest, public drunkenness, and disorderly conduct. He was taken to prison, unable to post $25,000 straight cash bail. And after 14 seasons with the Cougars, head boys basketball coach Mike Joseph doesn't plan on returning next season. Joseph removed his name from consideration for the job last week, citing an ongoing disagreement with the school board dating back to 2016. The 1990 Bucknell grad remains the university's all-time free throw percentage leader at 88%, with 565 career assists. Joseph quickly went from coaching 7th and 8th grade to helping head coach Bruce Leib win 480 games of the high school's 561-win history. One of Joseph's greatest Cougar moments, however, came in their 2017-18 season, when his team went 26-2 and lost in the 6A Eastern Final. The former head coach will leave behind 273 career wins and just 81 losses. Joseph still teaches at the district and has a son coming up as a junior that'll play during the Cougars' upcoming season. Coming up on Wyln News, Knoebels is open once again, plus Yuengling donates to military heroes. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Melania, and I'm 3 years old, and today is going to be sunny out.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
It's okay that everybody ignores me when I drive. It's fine, because I get a safe driving bonus check every 6 months I'm accident-free. Because I don't use my cell phone when I'm driving, even though my family does and leaves me all alone. Here's something else. I don't share it with Mom. Right, Mom? I have a brand new putter you don't even know about. It's awesome.
Safe driving bonus checks only from Allstate. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazleton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown the Hometown Village Square.
From the bottom of our hearts, the WYLN TV 35 family would like to say thank you to all essential workers for your service to our community and for keeping us safe.
It's the day that many have been waiting for. Knoebels Amusement Park's finally back open for some summertime fun. WYLN's Julie Stefnovich has the details on how the park's taking the proper pandemic safety measures.
It's official. The fun, food, and fantasy returns as Knoebels Amusement Park in Elysburg is now open. The date had to be pushed back because of concerns of the coronavirus, and the staff has been busy preparing the park, taking health and safety measures into consideration.
We're making last-minute preparations, but one thing that we typically don't have to take into consideration are all the additional health and safety measures due to COVID.
Attendees coming this season should be prepared to see some changes.
We will have social distancing in queue lines. Some of the rides you can naturally socially distance from other groups, but there are others that you will be seated in particular seats.
As with many businesses, the park will be working at 50% capacity, and all guests over the age of 2 are required to wear masks.
It's a little inconvenient, but better safe than sorry.
Sanitizing stations are found throughout the park, as well as barriers and sneeze guards, and as always, rides are checked for safety.
Even before our guests having fun, we have to make sure that they're safe.
America's largest free admission amusement park will be open daily from noon until 8 p.m. For more information, visit knoebels.com. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefnovich.
Thanks, Julie. Demolition crews were on South Church Street in Hazleton today, tearing down the building that formerly housed a restaurant. The Beltway Diner was destroyed by a late-night fire back on November 1st, 2018. Shortly afterwards, the owner said it would be rebuilt. Crews were working at the site as WYLN arrived earlier today. There's still no word on the future plans for the property. COVID takes away another summertime favorite, this time in Lackawanna County. Minor League Baseball canceled its 2020 season Tuesday night, meaning that this summer, the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders won't be filling the stands at PNC Field in Moosic. The Rail Riders are the top minor league team of the New York Yankees. This is the first time in league history that an entire season's been canceled. Yuengling virtually presented a check to the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors Tuesday of more than $50,000. From military personnel on the front lines to at-risk veterans and survivor families facing financial hardships, the pandemic's affected the entire military community. According to TAPS, every state's mobilized their National Guard, and the military is activating both reserves and retirees to support COVID-19 response efforts. More than 80% of TAP survivors reported an increase in feelings of grief, anxiety, and depression as a result of COVID-19. So, Yuengling's donation will increase financial assistance and crisis support, as well as grief and stress management for the families of America's fallen military heroes. Coming up on Orwigsburg's News Choice, we bring back our pool safety talk in Community and You, plus a virtual race for the cure. But first, here's a rundown of fireworks displays still scheduled throughout the area. Stay with us.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Renai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Tune in every Sunday night on Wyln from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. for hard-hitting, high-flying, non-stop action as only Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling High Voltage can bring you. That's Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling every Sunday night on Wyln. I'll see you in the ring.
Join us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic to learn a little bit about chiropractic philosophy and what your body and chiropractic have to do with each other.
Looking for information on the coronavirus pandemic? Make sure it's from a reliable source. Go to WYLNTV.com and click on the Lehigh Valley Health Network banner for the real facts about the coronavirus pandemic. And watch WYLN News live at 5:30 for updates on this ongoing crisis. The source matters now more than ever. WYLN, we're your local network.
Welcome to Community and You here on Wyln, everyone. I'm Gary Perna. Today I'm joined by Dr. Andrew Miller, and we're talking about pool safety and drowning here on Wellness Wednesday. And it's a very serious topic because we see now in the summertime more and more cases of children and young adults drowning or having injuries due to pools and some unsafe practices around them. So, Dr. Miller, what are some of the big things that we need to look out for? And it's really shocking how we see these statistics skyrocket at this time of year.
Absolutely, Gary, and thanks for having me. We see about 1,000 children every year die in pools, and this is something that is totally preventable, especially in the children age under 4. 1 to 3 year old. It's the leading cause of injury in that age group, and so it's really important to kind of be really vigilant around the pool and have a lot of pool safety. So, for instance, when I see children come in, from drownings, the one thing I hear from parents is that they were there, and 9 out of 10 times they're supervising, but they turn their head for a second, or they thought another adult was watching. This kind of thing can happen from time to time, and so The most important thing I want to tell you is how quick this can happen. 25 seconds, that's all it takes for a toddler to drown. And not only that, but they don't drown like where we see in the TV or the movies where it's loud and splashing and yelling, but it's really quiet. It's quiet drowning. They go under, they slip under the water, and then you'll never hear from them again.
And we see now, well, there's lots of floaties in the pool, there's these big things that people are putting in these rafts, all that stuff. And you know, people are like, oh, I didn't see them, oh, they went behind it. But when we have a small child, we really shouldn't have all that other stuff in the pool, correct?
Yeah, no, I think that's really good advice. I mean, just keep your eyes on the child. Don't look at your phone. Don't, you know, just always have that. Have a set of eyes, especially if you have more than one kid. You know, I have 4 children myself, and so I get how hard it is to kind of keep track of everybody, but it's really important. Along with the floaties, what's really important is sometimes, you know, you put like little water wings on or things, but I always recommend the U.S. approved Coast Guard life support vests, you know, to be applied and to be well fitted. You know, there's weights on them, and just make sure that you follow those rules.
And along that line, pool safety. Always follow the rules with them. You know, no running around, making sure that if you're done in the pool for the day, you know, there's a gate around it, you know, it's locked off, so, you know, kids can't climb up there when they're not supposed to be. But also, you said the life vest, making sure that they're equipped properly and that they fit properly. All these things we need to be aware of.
Absolutely, you have to follow all those rules. I mean, you know, especially the obvious: no horseplay, no running, no pushing in, no pulling kids under. A lot of times you'll have an older child and then their younger sibling, and they want to play around with them, and so that younger siblings, maybe they don't realize they aren't as strong, and so they'll pull them under. Things like that we see, and so that's really important. Obviously, you know, the fence with self-locking latches is extremely important. I mean, just knowing where your child is at all time.
One more thing I do want to point out, how important are swimming lessons for especially young children? You know, a lot of people now, we have pools in our backyards or we may go somewhere, but having those swimming lessons are very vital, correct?
Absolutely, and I can't stress that enough. After age 1, you know, I think really starting to get children involved in some certified classes, especially when they get into that 3 and 4 age group where they can really be a part of it. And not only that, but you know, just try to follow that as long as possible. And then with older kids, you know, make sure that they buddy up so that the older kids are playing together. There's always somebody kind of around, and just watching is really important.
All right, so be careful, know what's going on, take your time, be cautious, and if you're not always sure, ask a professional. You know, get an opinion, know what's going on. Dr. Miller, did I miss anything?
No, one other thing that I do recommend sometimes is, you know, when you have pool parties, right, you have to have somebody designated, and so, you know, adults sometimes get distracted, and so it's not unreasonable to hire a lifeguard, even for your private pool, when you're having these events, because this is unfortunately a time when we see bad things happen.
Very good advice. I never thought about that. So yeah, pool parties, make sure you have somebody who is paying attention and who's certified to know what they're doing.
Right.
Is also a big part. Dr. Miller, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks, Gary. I appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. We try to get you all this great advice here to keep you safe and sound during the summer, and especially when you're around your pool, thanks to our friends at Lehigh Valley Health Network. Thanks for joining us, everyone, on Wellness Wednesday. We'll see you next time here on WYLN.
Hi, I had a very minor fender bender tonight in an unreasonably narrow fast food drive-through lane. Don't worry, I have everything handled. I already spoke to our Allstate agent, and I know that we have accident forgiveness, which is so smart on your guys' part. Like the fact that they'll
4 weeks without the car.
Okay, yep, good night.
With accident forgiveness, your rates won't go up just because of an accident. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazleton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown the Hometown Village Square. There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet trap and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-455-4251 extension 1378 for more information.
What's on TV? Plenty. WYLN TV 35, the best in local programming.
In these uncertain times, you need to know what's really going on. The source matters now, more than ever. So turn to WYLN for up-to-the-minute information on social media, TV news updates at 1 p.m., 3 p.m., and 5 p.m., and WYLN News live at 5:30. Live local news and breaking news when it happens. WYLN TV 35, we're your local network.
Hazleton area's Class of 2020 virtual commencement ceremony is coming up tomorrow night, and you're invited. The virtual ceremony will be live streamed Thursday, July 2nd at 6, and you can watch it right here on WYLN TV. A slideshow of pictures taken throughout this past school year will kick off at 5:35 p.m., so don't forget, tune in tomorrow night right after the news for Hazleton area's 2020 virtual graduation ceremony right here on WYLN TV. Lace up those sneakers for a good cause, but do it safely. The Suzanne G. Komen Greater Pennsylvania Race for the Cure will be held virtually this year. Participants can walk or run on their own terms, whether it be on a treadmill or around the neighborhood. They can submit photos, videos, and stories between September 13th and the 26th. Organizers will use Susan G. Komen social media pages to share stories, conduct daily contests, and have prize giveaways during the 2-week period. A virtual ceremony will be held September 26th, the day the physical race usually takes place. Those who register will receive a t-shirt and bib by mail. For more information, visit info/komen.org. That's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page or WYLNTV.com, where you can also find the real facts about COVID-19 from LVHN. We'll see you next time right here on WYLN TV.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.